Hello everybody, this is Intrepid83 and welcome back to Let's Play EVE Online. I keep wanting to say EVE Online and owl. Alright, so yeah, in this episode we're going to be taking on... Actually, you can find out what missions you've been doing here. You can go to the journal here, Epic Journal, and yeah, basically you got covered the basics, combat missions, all that kind of stuff. Epic Journal, that's well, basically epic arcs. They're just basically missions that are that lead into each other kind of thing. So, alright, we got another mission coming up. I'm going to double click on there this time. Alright, you've been learning quickly, Brendan Alexander. You're ready to start setting your own goals soon, but before you head out on your own, you should stop off at a local academy of ours. Academy is in a neighboring system, so this will also test your ability to travel between solar systems by using the Stargates. You'll be awarded your certification documents at the academy proving that you have completed this course. As usual, there will be tutorials to guide you along the way. Alrighty. So we've got to go pick this thing up. We've got to drop it off here, but it's in another system, so... Let's accept it.
It's time for you to leave this solar system, pilot. Start by setting your destination in the mission window.
Yeah, so basically just telling you can right-click here and then set destination.
There are over 5,000 systems in the known universe, and all of them are connected by Stargates. By setting a destination in your ship's computer, you make it easier to navigate the network of Stargates. Undock when you are ready.
Yeah, ready. Yeah, so viewers, how did you find my very first post commentary for last episode? I had the mute on my mic on the entire time, so, oh well, yeah, I had to do that after the fact. Anyways. So yeah, when you get out here, you've got the destination set.
To get to your destination, warp to the Stargate leading to it. The Stargate you want to use will be highlighted on your overview because you set the destination beforehand.
Yeah. And here you can right-click if you want, or you can just jump.
Warp drive active.
You can actually warp to within 0 and then jump, but I like to do it this way because it's quicker. How are we doing on our skill here? In case you're wondering, yes, I'm doing these one after the other, because, yeah. Because of the way the skill training is. That's one thing that would be kind of nice if they fixed, is if it prevented that from ever happening. It kind of takes away from the realism of the game, but oh well. It's a game. A nice looking one. Hey, where am I? Yeah, we're actually cloaked now. As soon as you come through a Stargate, you come out cloaked until you decide to move or do anything. So it's kind of gives you a heads up, kind of gives you a chance to at least get your bearings before you get jumped, kind of thing. So where do we got to go now?
Once you have arrived at the Stargate, jump through to the next solar system. Click Next when you have arrived.
Right, warp to the Academy, right-click, and encounter, warp to 0.
Warp drive active.
And if you want to see how fast we're going. Now, in case you're wondering, what if I decided to go in this direction but just fly like my normal speed? Well, you would be there for hundreds of years waiting. Just like real life. Yeah, so basically the warp speed is actually taking you that distance in this game.
You've arrived at the Academy. Good work. Now, approach the Academy and retrieve your certification documents from inside.
Where's the Academy? There we go. Oh, we're already pretty close. Oops, I want to do that. There we go.
You may want to take a closer look at this fleet of ships. The Look At function allows you to get a closer view from one of your camera drones.
Yeah, this is actually kind of cool. Alright, what do we got going on here? Yeah, we got frigate. And look at this. This is the Inquisitor. This is basically the missile ship of the Amarr. The rockets, missiles, whatever. The Punisher. Widely known as one of the best ships. Come on. Ugh. Took off. Okay, let's try the Mauler. There we go. This thing is a tank. It's not very useful in... it's kind of like a big Punisher. I'll show you. If I can. No, it doesn't. Yeah. It's just basically got a thick skin. And Bestower, this is an industrial ship for the Amarr. Yeah, got the Caracal. This is actually a Caldari cruiser. Caldari tend to focus on missiles. Yeah, it's a missile boat. You got a Raven. It's one of their more famous battleships. It's a shield tank as well. Galente Executor. I think this is the mining ship, if I'm not mistaken, or something. It's either the mining ship or the... actually, I think it is the mining ship, because that looks like a... no, that's the turret. Ah, well. The Thorax, one of the most popular player versus player ships in terms of cruisers for the Galente. I don't want to hear any remarks about what it looks like. The Rupture, probably one of the best ships in the game. Very cheap, but it does a massive amount of damage with auto cannons. It's the Minmatar. Thing about, yeah, that's one thing. The Minmatar are basically the exact opposite of the Amarr. Well, obviously considering they're bitter rivals kind of thing. But the Minmatar, their weapon systems use no capacitor whatsoever. And then we got the Scythe. It's I guess you could say, electronic warfare focused. What else? What's this? It's not going to let me look at it because it's gone. This is the Amarr freighter. These things carry hundreds of thousands of cubic meters of stuff. The only difference is they're very slow, and you can't equip anything on them. And then you got the Concorde ships as well. What was this? It will not let me. Can I look at the Punisher, please? Thank you. There's the Punisher. Yeah, probably one of the most most liked and probably the most powerful of the most useful ships in the game for PvP and for missions as well. So yeah. All right, so we wasted some time here. Is there anything? Oh yeah, there's other ships down here as well. The Executioner. Let's look at them all, I guess. This is I guess the beginner interceptor, if you will. It's the fastest frigate, Tech 1 frigate. There's different tech levels of this game. Tech 1 is basically just the basic. Tech 2 are considerably more expensive. They're harder to train for, but they definitely are better. They can do some pretty mean damage. They're very specific in their roles, kind of thing. And then there's even Tech 3, but I believe that's only for cruisers. So they are extremely expensive and hard to get. The Inquisitor, yeah, we already looked at that. And then we got the Magnate. This thing is actually relatively new. I mean, the ship model itself is not, because the Magnates have been around for, I think, since the game came out, because they gave out things. They used to be called the Silver Magnate and the Gold Magnate, which were extremely expensive ships, because I think they only gave out a certain number of gold magnates and as basically trophies for tournaments. And so they stopped. You couldn't buy them on the market or anything like that. But then I guess they decided to bring it back for the sake of the exploration, when they introduced exploration into the game, which we'll probably be taking some tutorials with regards to. Punisher over here, or past the Punisher, but this is the Tormentor. This is the beginner mining ship. It's a frigate, And it's, of all four races of the mining ships, the Tormentor is probably the best. Unless, actually, I think they might have nerfed it a bit, but I'm not sure. But the only reason I say that is because it's the only one that has 3 low slots, and we'll get into why that's important a bit later. Alright, and then let's get over here a bit more. The Crucifiers, these are very much electronic warfare. And then over here, it's Crucifier, the Destroyer. Destroyers do a lot of damage, but they've got a really thin skin, so they're basically cannon fodder. Cheap though, they're very cheap. Sigil. This is the little brother to the Bestower, but it's also the fastest of the industrial ships. It just doesn't have as much capacity as any of the others. And then the Bestower, and then they got the Providence. So yeah, I think. Oh yeah, and there's the battleships over here. The Augurer. This is a fleet support ship. Basically, no use in terms of combat whatsoever. Although it can equip turrets, that's usually not what you want to equip on it. Amarr Mauler, yeah, this is basically the cruiser version of the Punisher. Again, it's not really that useful in terms of missions. The one that's probably the most useful, the two actually, are the Omen, because this thing, all it can do is equip. It can basically buff up its armor tank, and it can use lasers. It can't use any drones. The Amarr Omen is pretty much, it's basically got everything. You can use drones, you can use lasers, and you can use missiles as well. So it's usually a pretty useful ship. The tank can be rather weak on it, but like I said, it does quite a bit of damage. It's very versatile, and I think it's fairly quick as well. My favorite, however, is the Amarr Arbitrator. This is strictly a cruiser boat. I don't believe there's any bonuses in terms of lasers other than capacitor use, which is pretty much useless anyway. So I usually like to train this up as obviously a drone boat, but the thing is, the Arbitrator is the only Amarr ship that you can actually shield tank very well. In fact, I think you can actually shield tank it better than any other shield tank cruiser in the game. But you actually need to train up rigs, which we'll obviously get into. I'll probably get into much later. But basically, all they do is just, but they give you a little bit more buff onto the ship. The problem with rigs is that, unlike modules like these ones you can remove all you want. The rigs, as soon as you put them in there, if you take them out, it destroys them. So in other words, you got to be careful. But yeah, the Arbitrator, a very useful ship for PvP. Or not PvP, for missions. And then you got the Prophecy, the battle cruiser. Yeah, Prophecy, again, it's basically the step up from the Mauler. It's a heavy armor tank, but it does some massive damage. This thing is very useful in missions as well, because of the damage it can do. And then they got the Harbinger. This is basically, it's definitely meant for, I'd say it's definitely meant for PvP, just because of the amount of damage it does, and the how you tend to have to sacrifice damage output with tanking. So where's the tier 3 battle cruiser? Darn it, not tech 3, tier 3. What's going on? Oh, probably because I'm getting a little too far out of range here. Where am I? Let's go back closer there. Okay, we're at Harbinger. Actually, yeah, let's select the Harbinger. Actually, let's send this thing out the Abaddon, so you can see the difference in size. Come on. Alright, the Prophecy, yeah, the Harbinger. And the Armageddon, the tier 1 battleship. There's 3 tiers of these things. Armageddon, again, a very good PvP ship. High damage output, tank not so much, but really in PvP, especially with the way this thing is set up, you really want to use this in definitely teamed up with some sort of electronic warfare to be able to tackle the ship that you want to kill, and this thing will just tear them apart. The Apocalypse, probably my favorite Amarr ship of them all. This thing is a beauty. It can do, let's put it this way, it's got a, unless they changed it, I'm actually going to check. This thing does a lot of damage. I'd say, definitely say more than the, no, it's not more than the Armageddon, but in terms of the ability of it to tank, definitely, and especially the range of this thing. Alright, Apocalypse. Yeah, alright, so they kept it. Alright, so you got 7.5% bonus to large energy turret optimal range. So basically, this thing can do a lot of damage from a distance. So basically, at level 5 battleship, Amarr battleship, it'll be, what would that be? That would be about 32.5% more distance. And the thing is that this thing is best used with pulse lasers, and you get Tech 2 pulse lasers. Again, they just basically very powerful turrets, and you can equip Tech 2 crystals in it. The thing with Tech 2 crystals, though, and factional crystals, right now this is just basically a basic crystal. They wear out. These ones do not, the basic ones, but the ones that wear out do a lot more damage. But yeah, there's actually something called Scorch crystals. I'll show you those too. Scorch L crystal, that's what you would use. And yeah, it basically, on top of the 32.5% optimal range, it increases it another 50%. So with these crystals, when the other character you saw there, like I guess Zai Mishikani, she's very heavily trained with battleships, and in other words, her skill with Amarr battleship is at level 5. Her gunnery skills with regards to the large turrets, I think it's maxed out as well. So she could, I think that with 8 of these Scorch crystals, I think she could do around 700 or 800 damage per second from about 60 kilometers away. And yeah, so, and then I think that she tops out around just under 1,000 damage per, either just under 1,000 damage per second with the multi-frequency crystals, or around 900 damage per second. So yeah, definitely one of my favorite ships in the game. The Abaddon. This thing is, again, more for, this is basically the ultimate version of the Punisher, but it's probably more suited towards PvP. The tank is nice, but again, like the Harbinger, you kind of got to sacrifice damage per second for tanks, so you got to choose one or the other, which is usually what PvP is all about. But yeah, has my ship shown up yet? Where am I? No, I'm not there yet, but we're getting there. 16 kilometers away. Let's get this
The
going.
Show Information command can give you detailed information on anything you have selected. Now you need to return to the system you came from. The system name will be displayed in your mission journal, which stores information about any active missions you have. Open the mission journal now. Set the destination to your starting system through the mission journal.
Set destination. Make sure you've got this thing. Yeah, see the difference in size. Yeah. A bit bigger. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go home. Oop, hang on.
Warp drive
It's
active.
gonna let me? Yeah, it's not going to. Control space, stops the ship. Just double click somewhere in space that takes you away from this thing so you don't run into it when you're trying to warp, which is one of the most annoying things. And then just jump. Why do they have to put
Warp
D?
drive active.
I guess because it's a dock version of Stargates, I guess. Warp 2 and activate at the same time.
Now the destination is set. Warp to the highlighted Stargate and jump back through to your starting system. Speak with me again at the station to complete the mission.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think from now on I'm just going to tell you what the different acronyms are. If you don't know what PvP is, well, you probably haven't played very many MMOs, but PvP is basically player versus player, so you against another intelligent human being, generally. PvE is player versus environment, so basically what missions are, with the exception of one particular type of mission, one set of missions, but again, that'll probably be something if I get into it, won't be for a while. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Ooh, that's a nice planet. Ooh, got a hurricane going on down there. Yeah, a lot of planets, you've got these customs offices. Let's go visit.
Warp drive
Actually, you know what?
active.
Save that for another time. Give you some suspense of what it is.
Warp drive active.
I think this is the third or fourth. No, this is the third mission, but yeah, I guess I'll show you next time, because next mission is the last one with Aura, so we'll stop on our way by.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Yeah, your ship will always be accepted to dock when you are when your speedometer is 1/3 of the distance you are from it. So if you're like 500, if you're flying at 500 meters
You're
per
ready
second,
to begin the pilot certification course. This course covers navigational basics, in-space piloting, combat, and interstellar travel. When you're ready to begin your certification, speak to me through the agent panel.
your docking will be accepted when you reach 1.5 kilometers from it. So, alright, so I guess we'll have to take care of that next time. This is Intrepid83 signing off. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.